Again, this is not natural movement. This is a learned skill, and it has never been used in sports before that I'm aware of. I'm the first person to ever create something like that, but man, it is powerful if you can teach yourself how to do it. And it's super easy to feel because you're going to feel your lats. The minute these muscles turn off, you absolutely know that that shoulder blade started moving up instead of it moving down. We're looking at the natural function of the shoulder blade. We're going to begin with what's called retraction. That's where the shoulder blades are squeezing together. And now there is elevation. You can see that. That's where the shoulder blades are moving up. And not only is he moving up, but he's also kind of rounding the shoulders forward. That would be called elevation and protraction. That is the muscles in the rectangle, meaning the muscles in the rectangle region is what move the scapula. The reason that's important is you cannot feel your scapula any more than you can feel your femur, right? We feel the muscles that move the bone. We cannot feel the bone in and of itself, all right? So even though your scapula is gliding, you have no capacity to actually feel it glide. So that's really important to note. So golfers aren't out there trying to feel their scapula, and my apologies for not clarifying that either. You only feel the muscles. I have a link showing that every time those shoulder blades go up and squeeze together, the muscles that highlight on that 3D model is up here. So you know that's where you should feel it. When the shoulder blades drive down, like you're on two parallel bars, you can see it. His lats automatically turned on. All of these muscles now have turned off. Or not totally off, but they're never totally off. But they're totally relaxed. They're in a stretched position and relaxed. And now the muscles that pull these shoulder blades, let me clear that out, the shoulder blades down and towards center, those are the muscles that are now on, and those muscles happen to be inside the box. You're also going to feel all of your lat muscles, oops, sorry about that, particularly the muscles under the armpit. So you want to keep your chest up, drive the shoulder blades down. That's going to turn on the muscles in the box. And now he's going to begin to lift his arms. And as the arms lift up, I'm going to try to fast forward this. The shoulder blades now, as the arms come up over the head, whether the arms are in front, the shoulder blade has to internally rotate. The bottom half of the shoulder blade is externally rotating to allow the arms to get up over the head. This is really important for golfers. So when you look at a golf swing, up until the point that your elbow, where your elbow is in relation to the shoulder, as soon as that elbow, gets close to shoulder level, you know that shoulder blade's getting ready to go back up. What does that mean for the golfer? That means you are now turning the muscles off inside the box. The box muscles are important. It's what connects the shoulder turn to the hip turn. Again, this is not natural movement. This is a learned skill, and it has never been used in sports before that I'm aware of. I'm the first person to ever create something like that, but man, it is powerful if you can teach yourself how to do it. And it's super easy to feel because you're going to feel your lats. The minute these muscles turn off, you absolutely know that that shoulder blade started moving up instead of it moving down. Now we're going to look at the scapula glide move that I created. Again, this is not a natural function of the scapula. You have to purposefully and deliberately teach your scapula how to do this because it is not part of its natural function. We're going to use the pulling down and towards center of the scapula to rotate the rib cage. So the force in the bone that's moving is the scapula. So let's look at the down and towards center versus retraction. So I'm going to put that line up on his shoulders. And can you see how the shoulder stayed square? And what did it do? It rotated his torso approximately 45 degrees. So if the shoulder blade is moving down and towards center, we just showed you that the shoulder doesn't elevate, it stays level. So here it is from a back view. You can just see him rotate, and the shoulder did not elevate. That's what engages all the box muscles right here. So let's call that the middle link. So we've got what golfers call the shoulder turn here, and then we've got the lower body and the hips. What connects these two or optimizes connecting the two is when you engage those muscles. They are only engaged if the scapula continues all the way to the top of the backswing to move down and towards center. The minute you start elevating your shoulders up, these big muscles turn off. So something very easy that anyone can feel for themselves. This is the same for everybody. It applies to everyone. So as soon as you see that shoulder blade elevate, you just kicked off these muscles and you're missing the entire point of me actually developing that scapula glide. But I want you to note something. When he goes into that position, I want you to note that he's not this time around allowing that elbow to get behind the shoulder, and that's super important. Also, purposefully, I'm trying to ask him not to rotate his hips. So we want that rib cage. We want to see just how far he can rotate his rib cage without the lower body moving. One more time, the goal is that the shoulder blade does not elevate. If you pull the shoulder blade together without driving it down at the same time, it's going to go back up again. Again, this is not natural movement. This is a learned skill, and it has never been used in sports before that I'm aware of. I'm the first person to ever create something like that, but man, it is powerful if you can teach yourself how to do it. And it's super easy to feel because you're going to feel your lats. The minute these muscles turn off, you absolutely know that that shoulder blade started moving up instead of it moving down. So you've got your own kind of biofeedback machine. Once you start learning body laws, you don't even need to be attached to one of those motion machines. You'll actually be able to sense and feel just by the specific muscles that turn on and off based on the direction a bone is moving. So hopefully this has helped.